Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Bryant, earlier we heard Director Jarvis talk about the through roads in the parks. I noticed you were like shaking your head there as if the through roads were open. He said that the through roads are going to be open. What was your thoughts as that testimony was taking place?
Congressman, to the best of my knowledge, that during the closure, Highway 64, which is a through road from I-40 through Tucson to the National Park and to Cameron, Highway 89, was closed all except for the first 2 days. And it was reopened last Saturday when the park was fully reopened, but during the rest of the time it was closed.
So what, do you know why that was done? Apparently his letters dated October 1st directing the closure of the parks directed that through roads remain open.
Congressman, my understanding was that the first 2 days Superintendent Ubaraga did keep it open but closed all the parking spaces, so people parked in the roadways and created, I agree, a safety hazard because those parking areas were closed. And then after looking at that, they did close the road in its entirety. We had offered Coconino County assistance. We offered to assist in any way we can, and also identified that Highway 64 was crucial. Was crucial to keep open to the tourism industry.
Director Jarvis, do you have any response to Mr. Bryant's comment there?
Well, we looked at the through road policy that I issued as a part of the closure order was specifically to routes that are specifically designed to go through the park from like one town to the next. And the road that the mayor is mentioning here is really a park road. It travels along.
But it's a through road. It's a through road, though. One of the roads.
You can come out on the other end. Yes, you absolutely can come out on the other end, but it is not designed as what we considered a through road, which is through.
So it is a through road, but it's not a through road in the sense that your statement to not close through roads doesn't apply to it.
That's correct.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, let me just go on another little direction here. You know, my district is in Michigan. We've got several national parks and national park units that have been impacted by the shutdown. And although they're not as high profile as the World War II Memorial or frankly the Grand Canyon, you know, it's important to people in our district, you know, to keep those parks open. There's businesses that rely on those parks, and I want to submit some photos for the record, Mr. Chairman, that show that the park is actually accessible through county roads that remain open. Although there's signs at the main entrance of the park that says closed, that our county roads remain open, and you can still access the beach and many of the recreation areas of the park because we have a system in the Sleeping Bear Dunes Park that county roads shall remain open. And this is something that Mr. Bishop brought up earlier, and that is whenever we cede authority to the federal government of our lands without having local input or local people being involved, we risk these arbitrary rules coming forward that affect people locally. So I know in the Natural Resources Committee, we were working hard to try to be sure that rules are developed with local input and state and local government intervention. And unfortunately, I think Miss Eberly is gone here apparently.
Ms. Eberly had to step out. She'll be right back.
I just wanted to, so let me ask you, Mr. Bryan, do you have a relationship with the park superintendent that's different than it is with the national parks, the higher level authorities? Do you have a good working relationship with your guys there at the park?
Congressman, I thoroughly enjoy our relationship with Park Superintendent Dave Ubaraga. We firmly believe that he was acting in difficult situations and responding to the directions that came from the administration, whether it be Director Jarvis or Secretary Jewell or the President. But we believe he was trying to do the best he could, but had no choice.
It's my contention that that's the case in many a situation where the local park superintendent, is willing to work with the local governments to make things work, but sometimes the guys in Washington, they have these directives that go down to make these arbitrary, difficult rules, and I think that's very, very important that we consider national park rules that have local input and not allow folks in Washington to determine how we use our land in the states. And I think I'm out of time.